grasping. So mind, this is not grasping, but it is a more, it is aware and it can grasp. If there is a, then comes wish. If there is a wish, it will catch hold of something. Like, you can see a camera and lots of things are there. Where you know I want to focus on that. So that focus and rest thing are blurred. So that kind of that is happening in the third level, determinate purpose. Now you want to focus. And then fourth is if you want to retain. So you have clicked the picture. So it is in your memory. Record. Record. Yeah, it is in the record. So your mind has registered or recorded it. Now if you have photograph in your memory, you can again see it. So if you have, your mind has registered, again it can reproduce it. So it's that simple. Don't get too much. Try to understand in English. I don't expect that in your exam you are writing all the Sanskrit terms. It's better if you write. I won't cut marks, but I need the English term at least. If I'm saying, asking what are 3 types of knowledge. What are the 3 types of indirect knowledge? Or 2 types of indirect knowledge? So you write that sensory knowledge and spiritual knowledge. This, whether you are writing Mati Gyan, good, you write that good, but write sensory knowledge and spiritual. And then you need to explain all what knowledge. Keep 2 very quick questions. Actually, those questions can't be answered very quickly, but I did try. One question came from sister, another came from Lincoln. Yeah. Sister asked how knowledge happens for a very newborn baby, less than 6 months. Whatever I have read and from my experience, because when you are 6 months, my memory, nobody's memory is developed enough to get something registered. So this first level of knowledge is happening. But wish, second, third, fourth is happening? Not sure. Why? The reason is, mind and brain, they are different. Mind is the container. Sorry, brain is the container and mind is the content. So there is a glass and there is water in it. So glass is not water. Glass is holding the water. Similarly, brain is not mind. Brain is a glass or something, organic material made of cells and nerves and neurons and whatever, and which holds some content. So when you put some machine, you put MRI or some signals, they are sensing your brain, and you are feeling very happy. Some signal, different signal. When you are feeling bad, something bad, some different signal. But signal won't tell what you are thinking. Tell the symptoms only from outside. So that is of brain, that is, but what is content is mind. Now, in order to contain a large volume of water, you require a big glass. Small water. So indirectly, content is also connected to the container. Container is glass, content is water. Big glass, lots of water. Small glass, little water. Similarly, small brain, small amount of data or in the big brain. People did research on Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is to be the brightest mind of this century or millennium sometimes. This is a big scientist. So they preserved Albert's mind. What they observed only one thing, that average human brain, his brain is bigger. That's it. They could not find why he was so intelligent, nothing, no information. Only that much observation. So sister is asking, how a small, less than 6 years, 6 months baby, how perception happens. Because the brain is small. Content of the brain, it does not mean even a baby has lots of memory. We all have previous life memory according to Buddhist and Jaina tradition I'm talking about. Even a baby have all infinite memories of infinite lives. But because the container is small, because so one of my Buddhist teacher, he was giving example, it is like you put a big person in a small bag, in a spacesuit, small spacesuit you put a very big person. So he will struggle to get out but he can't stretch. Similarly, here the baby mind is not that big, but the container is small. So it can't hold lots of information. And what I have read, that even less than 6 months or like 3-4 months, the baby does not have a perception of self and other feeling. That type of thing is not. Like newborn baby cannot discriminate this is stable and this is weak, and this stable is different from him. I'll give one example. What happened to one of my elder brother? In our place, shared this story. Shared. Fire, and he put his hand. So he was a tall thing, and he put his hand, and he did not remove his hand from that fire, and his hand got burned. So what will if it is a grown-up baby, immediately the person will remove. Even insects, monkeys or will remove, but a very baby monkey perhaps would not do that. Or because brain container is small, it does not discriminate the other as a color. So that type of most of the things happens only till first. Second, third. Second, it may go, it may not go. The wish, but wishes are there that like may I get food or pain. Experiences are there, but that kind of wish to cognize something does not. Which gets registered. That is why we don't remember when we were 6 months. Okay. And gradually, once that thought is reaching to 4th level, so we have memory of many things. So that's your question. Your question was that on the level of meditation, it is said that you become mindful. Now there are various levels of mindfulness and various places of mindfulness. So in there is Sutta but mindfulness of 4 prominent places: body, feeling, what is third? What? But translate that. Okay. Dhamma means phenomena, and within the Theravada tradition, that means phenomena of mental phenomena. So you become mindful of your body, like, that okay, this is my teeth, this is my eye, my ear. My body is in sitting posture, my body is in walking posture. So you become aware of the body. That's one. Second is becoming aware of the feeling. So how I'm feeling right now, mood, thought, anger, that feeling. Third is about mind, how my mind is right now. It's agitated, it is restless, it is peaceful. Chittanupassana. Fourth is Dhammanupassana, is what is content of my mind. Like what my mind is holding right now. So it's holding some aversion for some particular thing. So that's more specific, that becomes mindfulness, mindfulness. So when you are in the meditation posture, the question was if you are meditating on any 4, what level of cognition is happening? whether it's on first, second, third. So first is required for any cognition. You have to be aware. So first, but that is not mindfulness, just consciousness. Awareness of consciousness is the first, not mindfulness. Because you are meditating, so you have a wish that I have to meditate. Automatically, second has to have there. Otherwise, it won't have. Third is determinate perception. That means your mind cannot function in two places simultaneously. Not possible. If you have confusion, remove this confusion. Ordinary Buddha's mind can work like that. Ordinary mind cannot focus on two things simultaneously. Ordinary human mind is a unique processor. Multi-processing does not happen. You might think, oh, I can listen to music and I can solve some mathematics problem. It happens. No, I also sometimes, in order to avoid the outside noise, I'll put earplug and play some music and then solve mathematics problem. But what I'm actually doing, the moment I focus on mathematical problem, music is in the background. And the moment I focus on music, I can't solve mathematical problem. This is bound to happen. You can check it out. Can't focus. You think, oh no, I can. What your mind does, it switches. It can switch very quickly from one to one, and it can give illusion of parallel processing. But it does not happen. In computer also operates like that. By the way, I'm a trained computer engineer, so I know how processor works. You think, oh, computer is also playing MP3 music, and I'm also typing something. Two things are happening. No, it doesn't happen. Processor have only one process inside. The clock speed, you might have read 1.7 or 2.4 gigahertz. Actually, that is clock speed. It can switch very quickly. And the more quickly it can switch from one process to another process, the more faster computer is. And that is how it gives the illusion of parallel processing. So computer appears that I think 4-5 tasks are happening simultaneously, but actually within processor only one thing goes simultaneously. Nowadays neural processors are there, other things are there, but again the basic structure is the same. Here GPU and NPU, lot of new improvements are there, multiple processors, but they are separate processors. In one processor only one task will. Similarly in our mind only one task. Answering your question, so all these till third it has to happen. Now fourth, when you are doing mindfulness meditation, okay, so dharana, the fourth one, whether when you are meditating, the fourth is not, in fact, fourth one is in meditation, in fact, fourth one is discouraged. This is little technical, only those who have gone through some meditation retreats, a serious one, they can understand. Anybody who has done some big 10-day Vipassana, at least 10-day Vipassana retreat? Nobody. You have done. Goenka tradition? How many? Okay, good. So those who go through longer process of Vipassana retreat, mindfulness retreat, what happens when you are mindful? Suppose and when you are meditating and some thought has arisen, maybe hatred or craving, because mind is restless. Don't think if you can sit and you can meditate hardly 1 or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes is even difficult. You can't focus on one thing, breathing. Every day I practice. I teach whenever I teach that mindfulness meditation. Here I do over 10 minutes Vipassana. Not Vipassana, Anapana, the breathing meditation. And I also cannot focus. I have been practicing for 15-20 years. Not more than 2 minutes. So mind is always in restless position. So when you meditate, some thought will come to you and will generate some feeling, anger or hatred. Okay, let me explain like this. It's a Jaina story, very beautiful Jaina story. Mahavir was walking in this somewhere in Rajgir, happened to, and he saw a person, king, was meditating. King, when he received Mahavir's teaching, he left his kingship. And he left his everything and started meditating. He was meditating on one of the hills. Mahavir with his disciple, they go for walking. From a little distance, the person did not see Mahavir. Mahavir and they saw that the person is meditating on the hill. Mahavir's disciple was little. Disciple asked, what a great person. Just left everything. What do you think if we die? Which heaven he will go? There are various stages of heaven. So Mahadev said he won't go to heaven, he'll go to hell if he dies now. So what happened? Mahavir, as I said, Mati Gyan. So he could read others' mind. Mati Gyan. So he never had this thing. So what he could read the king's mind. What happened? King was meditating, but suddenly a thought came about his enemy who attacked him, and lots of fight happened. The king lost his kingdom, and it was a sort of daydreaming. And suddenly he touched his crown, that I am king, something like. And then he touched and he realized that okay, I am seven. And then suddenly he said, what I am doing? I am supposed to meditate, and I have to be equanimous. And then again he became, from outward the thing has changed, he is meditating. And then he became equanimous. After a few 1 minute or something, Mahavir said, now if he dies, he said to his disciple, he will go to heaven. Or he will go to a good people. So what happens? Did you get what I'm trying to say? So what happens actually when you are mindful, this mental impression of craving or hatred, the bad or which are not wishful, which will generate bad karma, if you are mindful, that loses its grip. With a mindful person who is in total mindful person cannot become angry. Not possible to become angry. He can pretend, he can act, he can act like an actor that he has become angry, but a mindful person can never become angry. Emotions are different. Emotions, in other way, emotions won't come on its own. He will have control over his emotions, total control. He can bring emotions. For example, if he wants to generate loving kindness, metta, for everybody, may everybody become happy, everybody, so he can generate emotions, that kind of thing. So he will have control over his all emotions. Any mindful person, forget about this is what I am talking about somebody enlightened, even an ordinary meditator who has reached some level will have control. So what happens that the fourth, which leaves a strong imprint, sometimes we say, oh, you have done something bad, I will never forget in my life. That means you are generating a very strong impression. So, sometimes you write something on a water. Quickly I wrote A on water. The moment I wrote, it vanished. I wrote it on a blackboard. Or I wrote on a sand. A. The sea water came or wind went. I write A on a stone. I am engraving A. Very strong. It won't. So that fourth one is that imprint. If you are mindful enough, that strong imprint won't. Again, strong imprint, you need to have. I am not saying, oh, don't be mindful and don't listen to the class, because it's no. You will have whatever you want. For that, you can retain whatever is unwanted. So you can retain your positive, compassion, loving kindness. The rest, you just let it go. It will come, it will disappear. Okay? Last topic. Last topic is Syatavad. This is very important, very interesting as well. Again, if that elephant thing will come. Remember, this Syatavad is something very typical, very important for Jainism. Clear. Okay, black and white images. Yeah, I can make this also. I mean, this also. So, these all are blind people and they are trying to identify elements. In Jainism, one we discussed Anekantavad also. That is also explained by this. And again, for Syatavad also I am explaining using this. But this is more appropriate for Anekantavad. What is Anekantavad? Multi-dimensional. If you read here, I have discussed two things very important: is Syatavad and Anekantavad. Syatavad is, remember, Syatavad is part of epistemology. Anekantavad is part of metaphysics. Anekantavad, doctrine of manifold aspects. Anekant, multiple ends. But the same image is helpful. But and remember from where Anekant, I'm talking about this Anekantavad. Why this theory is necessary? Because object have some qualities which is intrinsic to it and some qualities which share with other things. Blackness of this pen, black is this and black are infinite number. In order to know this blackness, you need to know all the blackness. That is why this multifold knowledge is needed. Coming from this side, this side, this side, that side. What is the depth? All these things. So there where this is metaphysics, how this blackness exists. In order to know that blackness, you need to know all the blacknesses. So that's it. This is Anekantavad. Now we are discussing in terms of Syatavad. Syat. So Syat, the term comes from Syat. It comes from a root called as. As. This is Sanskrit term, not as. As. As means something maybe. As means some like that. Right now, just this is a better word, maybe. In some respect, perhaps, yeah, this is your better word, perhaps, maybe, in some respect, relatively, from one perspective. One perspective, yeah. These are translation of this word, yeah. And with the Sanskrit becomes the. So actually, yeah, the. So it becomes Syat. Syat Val. If you want to write, you can write like this also. Syat Val. Put together it becomes Syat, which means conditional prediction. I'll explain technical terms and what does that mean. To understand it, it will become easier and clear. Not very difficult. There are actually 7 folds. 7 folds. It's called Sathang. So it has 7 folds. Very easy to remember. Don't worry. First, you should know what is the meaning of Syatavad. So Syat means Val is doctrine. So Syat or Syat. So doctrine of conditional reduction. Translated var, we have not translated var. Var means doctrine. Syat means conditional reduction. So if you ask something to Jaina philosopher, okay, before I discuss Jaina philosophy, let me there is a very famous Buddhist philosopher, all of you must have heard the name Nagarjuna. I have also used the name multiple times. He comes up with a theory called Chatuskoti Vinemo, which means free from four conditions. So first we need to understand what are the four conditions. And this is the ultimate reality, or the final reality, is free from all four. And that is how we develop the idea of emptiness, shunyata. Shunya. Shunyata or shunya, emptiness. And we don't get, we are discussing this. So, Nagarjuna says, if something exists, it can exist in four modes. Can exist. Okay. So it can exist in four modes. Let us take example of pot. Or let us take example of planet. Pot. Pot exists, you say yes, pot exists. So that's one mode of its existence. Second way, you can say, no, pot does not exist. Pen does not exist. Pot does not exist. Why? You break the pot. It was made of clay, it will dissolve into clay. So actually pot is not pot, it is clay. It has been given a shape, proper shape, and it has been made, baked, and you have put a name, that is why you are calling a pot. It is not pot. You have given a name pot. Had it been pot, everybody would call it pot, but Hindi people don't say pot, they call it ghada. And it is not pot actually, you have just out of, so pot does not exist. Make sense? So pot exists, this pen does not exist. Why is this pen? No, this is not pen. I break this, I will remove this, that is also not pen. This holder is also not pen. Pen does not exist. So something exists, something does not exist, something exists. So look, the pen does not exist. So something exists, something does not exist, and then you combine both, it exists also and it does not exist, which is nonsensical. Nonsense. Because you are saying two opposite things in both. Not possible. Logically, it's not correct. You can't say it exists and it does not. No, nobody will listen to it. The person is so okay, he is studying Buddhist studies, so he is gone little crazy. He is saying, oh, it exists. Normal person, logical person won't accept both. So that way. And fourth condition, neither it exists nor it does not exist. So that's another logical argument it means. And so he says, no, all four are not plausible, so everything is empty. So things do not exist in their own. That is how he develops the theory of emptiness. China, they are very smart. They brought this concept. Yeah. They said, look, don't say it exists. Don't be very sure. But there are people that say, no, this is what is going to happen. I know. India-Pakistan match, India will win. Pakistan will win. Some cricket match happens. Indians are very fond of, or maybe some people are fond of football, so they Messi will or score, whatever. You all have, you try to predict very certainly. The way, Nagarjuna said, you say yes, then problem, say no, then problem, say both, then you are doubly wrong. And fourth possibility also out. Not possible is third is not possible. So Jainas said, Jaina people said, don't say yes, it exists. Don't say don't. Say perhaps it exists. Maybe it exists. Pen exists. Maybe it exists. Not sure. So that not sure. No, okay. Before I good that you raise this point. Not sure is something we should get. There are other two concepts in Western philosophy which sound similar. One is called skepticism. Skepticism and agnosticism, two concepts. Skepticism says that those who are skeptics, they will always doubt. So this Jaina philosophy is not saying that always doubt. It's saying don't be too deterministic. Not saying that always have a doubt, always question something. It's saying don't go to the extreme that this sense don't become absolute. Not saying that doubt. Agnosticism is another philosophy which says that knowledge is not possible. Existence of God, divine, or any knowledge, final knowledge, ultimate knowledge is not possible. Who talk philosophical skepticism? There was a concern. No, I'm talking in Western philosophy. There is a person called David Hume. He was a skeptic, one of the very big name, and Kant, Immanuel Kant was agnostic. Anyway, don't have to. I'm just referring. In Western philosophy, these two concepts exist: agnosticism and skepticism. Don't compare this with the although it looks very similar. Agnosticism says that knowledge of final thing or final this is doctrine that humans cannot know the existence of anything beyond phenomena like this. So this Jaina, remember, Tirthankara or us, they say that they are omniscient, so they are not agnostic. Neither they are skeptic, they won't question of it. They say that you can know only one aspect in that sense, Anekantara. You can know only arhants can know all the aspects. But if they are not saying it's not possible to know all the aspects of the thing. So in that sense, they are not skeptic nor agnostic. So they are relativist in a sense, you can say. The theory of relativity. Relative. For example, let us do a thought experiment. Thought experiment means in your imagination you think that you are doing an experiment. So just sit and imagine that there is a hot water bucket. You can do it in your hostel if you want. If you want to check it out, you can do it. Right now, do this. Listen carefully so that you get to the water track. So, imagine there is a hot water. Relatively hot, very hot water. In one bucket you have kept. And there is another, this experiment you have put a cold, ice cold water. You have put some ice cube in. It's relatively cold. Hot water here and cold water here. two buckets. And in middle you have kept a bucket which has normal room temperature. Two buckets you have kept in front. Clear? Put one hand in first in this hot water. Put one hand cold. And put it for 1 or 2 minutes. So that you feel the coldness and hotness. Okay? Now bring your hand into third bucket which has normal temperature. What is now I'm asking a question. When you have put your both hand in one bucket which is normal temperature, I'm asking you a question, do you feel this water is cold or hot? Why are you laughing?
We have to try to do it. So we have to experiment it.
No, what will happen? You check it out. For one hand, which was in hot water, it is normal temperature to cold, very cold. And this the hand which you put in a very hot cold water, normal hand will tell you where you put this hand will tell you this water is warm. Now there is only one brain and two hands are sending two different signals. You are confused. It will happen. It's just so things are relative. A person right now we say what is temperature of Rajgir. So you will say, oh, it's a hot. Now, this hot is not a correct statement. If what is temperature of Sahara Desert right now? Sahara Desert temperature. Let us maybe around 50. Right? What is temperature of Rajgir? Something 30. So Rajgir is cold. When you are comparing with Sahara desert is a very hot desert. Okay? And what is temperature of Ladakh say right now? What is temperature of Rajgir? 33. Rajgir is hot. So you, in some respect, relatively, from a perspective, maybe. Okay. So try to refrain from definitely, oh, this is hot, this is good, this is bad, this is. This also helps in your meditation. That don't think something is absolutely bad. Don't think something is absolutely good. Even compassion, if it is not based on the principle of anatta, no self, it takes to rebirth, although good rebirth, but rebirth, it's not freedom from psychology, your spirit has. So, but in some respect, relatively, from a perspective, something is good, something is hot, something is whatever you can, something is bad, something is good. So, Jaina philosophy, knowledge, how knowledge is happening. We are studying epistemology. Knowledge happens in relative manner. So Jaina developed this conditional prediction. So only conditionally you can predict, not absolutely. Only in perhaps it is hot. Perhaps it is good. In some respect it is hot. Rajgir is hot. In some respect it is good. Relatively Rajgir is hot. Relatively is a cold place. From a perspective, Rajgir is a hot place. From a perspective, Rajgir is a cold place. Right? So, things exist. In some respects, exist. What exists? In some respect, what exists? What does not exist? In some respect, what does not exist? When exists, in some respect it exists. When it does not exist, yes, in some respect it does not exist. Break the break. In some respect it does not exist. Relatively pain exists. Making sense? So this is what Sharpa in nutshell. Now going to this sevenfold prediction. So there are sevenfold predictions. In some respect it is. In some respect it is not. In some respect it both exists and does not exist. Third, fourth is important. This is what, because in some respect it exists and in some respect it does not exist. So if I have to express it finally, it is not expressed, inexpressible. Something the type of concept is also something. It's not expressible. Because in some respect it exists, in some respect it does not exist. So I am saying in some respect it is indescribable. So in some respect pen exists, in some respect pen does not exist, in some respect pen is indescribable. You can't describe it. Because it will reduce to, sometimes it will reduce to, if you put electron microscope, it will become atom. If you zoom something else, so in some respect it is in further zoom it will go into, electron, proton will become quark particles. Then further it will break into some, subatomic particles. So, and you can go on zooming. You can go on analyzing any material object, and you won't reach to anywhere. Because there are infinite possibilities of any existence. In some respect, it is indescribable. So pen exists? Yes, it exists. It does not exist? Yes. In some respect, it does not exist. In some respect, it exists as well as in some respect, it is indescribable. Example, I said put electron microscope and zoom. Reduce, it goes to atoms, subatomic particles, quark particles, deeper. And you can go on and go on. There is infinite possibility. In this way. And this you can apply to any phenomenon, anything, any knowledge which is happening. Now, what clear?
Yes.
Exist, does not exist, exist both, and inexpressible. Add a that's it. Sya means in some respect, or maybe, or relatively, add relatively exists, relatively not exist, relatively, or in some respect, inexpressible. Now add this. So four are there. Sya asti avyakta. That means in some rate, now there is just repetition. This sya avyakta and sya asti. First, in some respect it exists and it is indescribable. So add these two. So in some, fourth is inexpressible. Fifth is in some it exists and it is indescribable. So once you reach the fourth, that is the important one. Once you reach fourth conclusion, then with four you are adding exist, does not exist, and exist and does not exist. Indescribable is fourth. So fourth, once you reach, so fourth position is unique. First, just to say, in some way it exists, in some way it exists. Fourth you reach, it is indescribable. Now add, it is in some respect, this is that it exists and it is indescribable. Making sense? Easy to remember. Just for your ease of remembrance, I am telling you this. That you just add fourth, indescribable, and add the first. So it exists and it is indescribable. In some respect, it does not exist and it is indescribable. And seventh one, in some respect, it exists, it does not exist, and it is indescribable. Four possibilities. Seven possibilities. Rest, first four are important, rest are If you understand first one, so this three are combination one. So with this we complete. Yeah. 4 o'clock.
Do not get confused. Nothing exists. Nothing exists.
Everything has so.
Yeah.